let's start the practical implementation. So we installed sklearn basically, right? So let me import something from sklearn dot linear model. We are not talking about non-linear model. In linear model, there were logistic, linear, multiple linear, and number of things, right? So we want to import one of the specific class only, one of the specific method only, okay? That is import linear regression. Okay, so let me make a object, suppose lr is equal to linear regression. Okay, and let me have features. I am considering feature as number of year of experience, 1 2 3 4 5, right? Let me have the labels. Labels is the salary. Initially it was 20,000. Let me not put 20,000 properly. 20k is enough. It's in k basically. So 20 comma 23, suppose 28. It's not having a linear relationship even though, right? But still it's going in one direction. If up and down will be coming up, suppose 20 and then 28, then 23, 20, suppose 45, and then it came back to 32. So if something something like this is happening around, then linear regression will not work on that, right? If your data is if your data in all the parameters, in features, in labels, going in one direction, either in upcoming direction and going or down directions, random distribution should not be there, okay? However, the gap between the values like 20, 23 and 28 is not same. Okay, now let's talk about it as 30, 37 and 20. Okay, 45. So we have got 5 samples, and this is called a sample also. Total number of data sets as well. Okay, so we have got, and this is also called as training data set. So we want to train this f and l value to lr, because lr has the capacity of computing all the operations or formula which is available for linear regression. Cool. Okay, so what we'll do, lr dot fit, this is the command through which we can train the model. So what do you mean by training the model? What do you mean by learning the learning the data by model? That I'll let you know, don't worry about it. I'm sure the amount of questions that would be in your mind and those are uncleared, I'll clear everything, don't worry. But as of now, you just stick to learn if and believe upon my word that suppose this lr is the person. This is one of the person like Saurav. So suppose Saurav has got one keyword called fit. So this fit keyword requires 2 parameters. Give me these 2 parameters, I'll learn it. I'll memorize it. Okay, and I'll memorize it. I'll fix a particular formula in my mind, and whenever somebody will ask me the question related to this thing, related to this particular problem statement, I will just compute that particular formula with respect to the memorizing data values. Okay, and I'll give the answer. Similarly, this particular function is going to work upon. Okay, so let me get the variable. So I've got variable called trained. So after this operation, linear regression will be trained with this data, and that trained data would be available in trained variable. Now from this trained variable, you can ask any question related to what you have trained for. Okay, so now I want to ask the question from trained variable dot predict. This is the function to ask the question. Okay, predict. What do you want to predict? Okay, so there's a condition called that your features must be coming in double dimensional list, and this is the requirement of sklearn. Sklearn requires features must be coming in double dimension. Likewise, whenever you are asking the question, your question must be coming in double dimension. Okay, so I want to ask whether after 8 years what will be the salary. So let me get the answer in RES, right? Let me print this RES, what was the answer, okay, and then let me save it. So let me save it on desktop. It was LR test 1 2 3 4, right? So let me save it and run it. Have you understood these few lines of code? Have you understood these few lines of code?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let me run it. See, the salary should be 62.6. Likewise, if I'll ask multiple questions, you can ask multiple questions also. After 10 years, after, or okay, when, how did this model trained accurately for these values will be analyzed with this question now. Suppose I want to ask, according to you, what should be the salary after 3 years of experience for a new joining? Understood? However, for this person we have given 28k, but what will be the actual value? Okay, according to the model, this must be given, but we gave 28. What will be the question? What will be the salary for a person for 2 years? There must be maybe suppose 25,000, but we gave 23,000 only. Okay, so let's check a couple of such questions also, which have been trained also for 5 years, 5-year experienced person. So let us check what will be the answer for these questions. These will not be the same. According to model has suggested us 62,000, 62.6 thousand, 75.4 thousand, 30,000 should be given for 3 years of experience of person. However, we underrated it for 28,000 only. Understood? Is that clear, everyone? For 5 year of experience, we should be giving 43,000 only, and you gave 45. So if you will check the gap between these values, it is 30, it is 28. So gap was 2.6k. Now the gap here was 1.6k. So total percentage, if you will calculate, suppose if it is 7 to 8%, then whatever answer it is giving for your question for 8 year of experience, then so whatever value is coming up, now you can be very sure that 7% plus or minus can be the actual value that this particular person can be happy upon, or we should have the limit of this particular amount only, and HR or any management has the responsibility to convince that person to get this amount of salary only. Is that okay, everyone?
Sir, on what basis is it predicting the values?
On what basis? That's what I am trying to explain from last 1 hour, I hope. On the basis of your data, f was x, f was x. Every time you are giving f as x and l as y. 1 versus 20, 2 versus 23, 3 versus 28, 4 versus 37, 5 versus 45. There will be a graph. Yes or no? You will be putting these value on a graph, right? And based on these things, you will calculate m. Can't you calculate m? It's very easy. For linear regression, it's very easy. M is the slope. M is the slope. Yes or no? How on yeah. So if you'll go on mathematics for linear
Dear Utkarsh,
for linear line. Yes,
sorry
sir.
to say that you have to go through statistical concepts separately, because everything cannot be detailed at length. And from last 1 year, it has been explained how the regression models are being made and
Yes,
how
yes.
the values are being calculated. So you may read some book on statistics after this course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So should I get now? Should I go ahead?
Yes, Saurabh, please continue.
Okay. So this was the answer based on one single parameter only, one single feature only. What if we'll consider one more parameter? Suppose there was a person this is your one of the analysis upon one parameter only. Now let's go for two parameter, right? One more parameter that we have considered. The first parameter was year of experience. The second parameter that was number of people of team this HR has handled. Suppose that was 5 or 4 in first year. Then in second year, it handled 10 members of team. Then, or suppose instead of handling team, let's talk about how many people that HR has hired, the new employees. Those are suppose 10, and this is 13. This is 17. This is 25. 5 with even 29. Is that okay? So every value is going in rising mode: 10, 13, 17, 25 and 29. Likewise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Instead of 2 you can have 3, you can skip that 2 also, you can have 5, you can have 8, you can have 13 years of experience. This is how you can do it. Okay, now let's talk about this thing. So while predicting something also, you need to make sure that you should ask your question based on both the parameters. A person who has experience of 8 years, if he would be capable of hiring 25 people, if this person would be capable of hiring 70 people, this would be only 7 people. 5 would be with maybe 15 people. Okay, so this is how. Okay, one more thing, this one single bracket which is having couple of values will be called as one data set, and one data set will capture couple of parameter or couple of features. Like you can say this is your F1, this is your F2, this is your F1, this is your F2, this is your F1, this is your F2, right? So F1 versus L, F2 versus L. There are two different graphs will be plotted on two different windows. Okay, and then correlation between those graphs with respect to M1 and M2, because M1 will be different and M2 will be different. Then the linear regression formula would be y is equal to M1 x1 plus M2 x2 would be there, and x1 would have these value and x2 would have these values, right? And then y will be predicted. Similarly, while you are asking the question, then these questions must be asked always. It is mandatory. Always you should ask the questions with same amount of values those you have trained with, right? Okay, so features must be giving in two dimension of matrix. Likewise here also, while question you are asking, you should be giving it in 2 dimension only. Okay, and let's get the analysis done. Okay, so he should be getting 36,000. He should be getting, and initially it was 62,000. Should be getting 70,000, 19,000, 26,000. Understood? And here it was like this: 3 years with 7, 3 years with 13. It was 23. Here it is saying only 19,000 should be given. 19,000 should be given. 5 with 15. So now the error percentage gap between the trained data and the predicted data is quite high. So suppose this thing is happening. So what will you do? You would correct your data then. One person with 1 year of experience cannot hire 10 people. Suppose this is for 3 or 4 member of team only. To make it more reliable, more accurate, your data can be structurized or recomputed. Understood? Some impurities can be added, some features can be extracted, some manipulations can be happening, right? But it should not be done in real data set. It should not be done in authentic data set. You should be doing it only in your own custom data sets. If it would be clear, it will be authenticated, then please try to search the right algorithm which can be helping you to design that particular line, linear line properly. If linear line is not working, go for non-linear line or logistic line depending upon that. Okay, so this is how we can analyze linear regression. Is there any question, anyone? If you have question today, uh, till now, like I'll be just covering this much today, and tomorrow I'll be covering the another thing, the another algorithm that will be KNN. So, what do you mean by creating own ML dataset? This is what I was telling you. This is called as custom dataset. The amount of values were quite low, right? Amount of values were quite low, but you should have proper understanding about the problem first. Deciding the values of features, deciding the value of labels, uh, and you are willing that this thing must be very accurate also, so it or authenticated also. It will be based on your understanding of the problem. If you have 100% clarity with the problem statement, I'm sure you would be getting closer to what the custom dataset should look like. Understood? Custom means you are writing those values, you are designing those dataset by yourself based on number of features, based on number of labels. So what should be the assignment today for you? Just try to pick up couple of similar different examples based on 1, 2, 3, 4 features, and parallelly with 1, 2, 3, 4 labels also. Okay, so labels can, if you have multiple labels, then you can put one more bracket over here, right? 23 comma something within a bracket, like you have put it over here, right? So this is how you can work on linear regression. Similar to linear regression, we have non-linear, logistic, and multiple linear other modes as well, right? So is that clear, everyone? Right, so this is what we have done. It was very small. We'll go through with classification tomorrow. We'll go, this is KNN, means K nearest neighbor classifier, and this will be an algo. However, one algo that we did not write here for clustering, I'll tell you the method of clustering also. One algo we'll try to implement tomorrow. Okay, so KNN plus clustering algorithm will be taking an example with, and we'll take two three different examples, and I'll ask you to go through with real data set as well, the authentic data set as well, to check with the accuracy of algorithm, what will be the accuracy, what will be the probability, what will be the future predictions, and tomorrow you'll get the proper clarity upon the difference between classification, regression, and clustering, and then you'll be having clear idea about how to exactly work with the problem statement, because until or unless you don't have clarity of problem statement, you cannot get clarity of which particular algorithm of classification type or regression type or clustering type should be used. Okay, and then after I'll tell you the concept. If tomorrow it will be possible, you would have less questions. I mean, you will be totally clear about the classification and clustering. Then tomorrow only I'll tell you the theoretical topic, theoretical analysis upon deep learning, image search, and image recognition, all three of them. So deep learning requires neural network. What is neuron? What is neural network? How does it work? How does it work in Python, and what is the formula of working with those neurons basically. And for tomorrow, please try to, tomorrow and for day after tomorrow, please try to install Opencv. The command for Opencv would be, I'm writing it in chat box or chat window, that will be pip3 install Opencv -python. This would be the command. Okay, and you can use this to install Opencv, and this Opencv will help us to deal with the camera, images, filters, like Snapchat is working, AR, VR is working, augmented reality, virtual reality, branding, recognitions. Tesla car is trying to build fully automatic cars, and Google driverless car. The world is behind this concept only, using OpenCV, and it like NumPy is one of the biggest library for numerical analysis, numerical value analysis. Likewise, OpenCV is one of the biggest library right now for image analysis, right? So we'll see neural network, we'll see image data sets depending upon training of different images. We'll talk about the parameters, and based on parameter we'll try to write a code for taking decisions also for recognition, whether the image that is coming from camera, the person who is standing in front of camera is Saurav or Kapil sir or some other people, right? It will tell you the total amount of accuracy, or maybe the prediction rate, that with this much of confidence I can say, this computer will say like in this way, that with this amount of confidence I can say the person who is standing in front of camera is Saurav, and along with Saurav there are two more people who are this and that. I have this much of confidence for each of them, okay, and we'll try to generate the product or project face recognition system. Is that okay, everyone? Any question, any problem anybody would have?
Just a small suggestion.
Yes, sir.
So everyone is facing, installation of NumPy or other libraries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that if we try to, open command prompt as admin, so that it will definitely work.
Right. Yes, yes. So yes, one more thing. Whenever you are installing any library in Windows or other platform, please try to open your command prompt with administrator permission. If you are using Linux, please try to use sudo command, sudo, sudo command for Linux or terminal, or for any terminal. Basically, you need to go through with sudo, sudo pip 3 install, like that. Understood? Sudo means super user. Super user is exactly same as administrator for Windows. Okay, so try to use that. You can miss small information that I have no problem to repeat even 10 times, and I'm behind your support. If you're struggling with any small topic, I gave you my number yesterday. You can chat on that number anytime, right? Is face recognition can be installed in Windows? Yes.
Excuse me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, because of the internet connectivity, actually, I was not actually able to participate yesterday. Would you please kind of provide your number again today? Please?
Yes. I'll write it down. Surely I'll write it down. 92510 94002. This is my number. This is my number, and I'm sure I'll be. Yeah, thank you so much. Don't hesitate, anybody. Please don't hesitate to just ask anything at any time, even day, night. Don't bother, because this is your life, and you should be little self-loved or selfish for your learnings, right? If you'll be little selfish for at least upcoming 2 or 3 years, I'm sure that will help you in your favor. Any other question, please? Thank you.
So basically, what all algorithms are important for us to learn so that we can frame other algorithms through them?
It's not, I mean, there is no such number, but I would suggest at least 15 to 20 number of algorithms you should understand of different types, so that you can club couple of them. And if you are clubbing couple of algorithms together, it is called as hybrid algorithms. And you can perform couple of you can form couple of hybrid algorithms, and based on those hybrid algorithms, you can write couple of research papers also, right? I also help a student to write their own research papers. Okay, how to install OpenCV? I have already told. There is a command called pip3 install OpenCV -python, right? please scroll your chat window. Any other question, please?
Saurabh, thank you so much for sharing your contact to all the participants and also motivating you to ask questions anytime. So such a big help to the participants is really, really commendable, and I applaud for that.
Thank you, sir.